What's going on, guys? Bustle P6 here, back to another video, and today I'm here to do my AEW Dynamite review from Fort Meyer, Texas, or Fort Meyer, Florida. My apologies. This was a tale of two shows. The first half was alright. The first half was pretty good. There were some good spots throughout this entire show, but there were some spots I didn't really care about. But let me know in the comment section below what you guys thought about this episode of Dynamite. Also, I look back on my NXT roadblock. Okay, no, I'm not doing that joke again. When I did my NXT 2.0 review, I forgot to talk about the 6-person trios, tornado tag. I kind of forgot about it because, honestly, it just really didn't amount to anything, but that's neither here or there. So, Chris Jericho comes down, and he said that he had one of probably his best match in AEW against Eddie Kingston at Revolution. I don't really know about, the best AEW match he's had in the company. That'll probably go to him versus Cody at Full Gear 2019, but I digress. It was a damn good match. I actually really liked that match. It was one of Jericho's better days, honestly. And also Eddie Kingston, because it's Eddie Kingston. And, he's talking about, that was one of the best moments of my life and all that stuff. And he says, me not shaking your hand's been eating me up inside. And he calls out Kingston, here comes Eddie. And this was some good stuff, even though I knew where it was going to lead to. This was some great stuff that Eddie Kingston does. He's not shy from, talking about what he actually feels. He talks about his article, which I have not read, but I really want to someday, because I heard that is a fantastic article. I forgot the name at the moment right now. I do really apologize. He talks about, the fans. He's talking about how there's people that have been there for him, and, when he was down, they were up and all that stuff. This is some really good stuff. Me talking about this promo would not do it justice. This was a really good promo by Kingston. And he says, you know what, Jericho? Even though I don't like you now, the stuff that you and Malenko did, talking about the Lionheart days of when he was in the New Japan Cup, facing Malenko, Guerrero, all the great that he did back in the, early 90s before he joined WCW and eventually WWE. And great stuff. And then they shake hands. And then 2.0 and Garcia come down. What is this? And, it's a 3-on-2, it's a beatdown. And all of a sudden, Proud and Powerful comes down. Santana Ortiz, they're fighting off the cavalry. And then Jericho gets a hit, I forgot who it was. He goes to hit one of the members 2.0 with the bat. But oh no, he hits Santana. It's a swerve, bro. Jericho has turned heel, even though we knew that was going to be coming. Hager comes down, and he's confused, like, what the hell is going on? Oh, and then Hager turns heel. And now they're having a new faction with 2.0 and Daniel Garcia. Cool. Yeah, no, this ain't gonna work, Chief. This is not gonna work at all. Eddie gets powerbombed through a table, even though it took 3 people to lift up Eddie when Hager tried to lift him up. Look, I'm not saying Eddie is Eddie's a light figure, but come on, Hager, you're 6'6" and you're an idiot. But, come on, a blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while. And then they call themselves, now it's called JAS, the Jericho Appreciation Society. Cool, this is going to do nothing for anyone. We get a Punk and MJF recap that they had at Revolution. Again, great stuff, even though the attacks were unnecessary. And then we get Dante Martin versus Adam Hangman Page for the AEW World Title. Kind of shocking. I didn't expect it. Even though I was in a Discord chat, I was on a watch-along server. And apparently one of the guys said that Martin and Page apparently teamed with Jericho and they never tagged Jericho in. And Dante's number 2 in the rankings. Something like that. It's something like that, but If they would have built it up, I would have actually, liked the match a lot more. This was actually a pretty good match. Dante, the sky's limitless for him. Paige, good stuff, even though I feel like this is not going to work out all that well for Paige. Some good stuff. There were some good counters, good fake outs, good reversals, but in the end, Buckshot Lariat 1, 2, 3, and Paige wins. Also, I really liked the ultimate middle finger that Paige's ring attire was, because LGBTQ attire. In Florida, apparently Disney are very anti about that. So that's a big that to you, Disney, you stupid ass company. Yeah, remember when you were relevant? Yeah, Pepperidge Farm remembers. Now go back to making generic random ass bull crap movies that the kids would watch, and us adults are thinking, why is this generation gone to hell? Anyway, off my soapbox here. Tony Schiavone's in the ring. Schiavone was all over throughout the show. He was been in and out of the ring so many times. It's like a porn star being passed around like a joint in a college party. Or was it Sunny in the 90s? I'll let you decide on that. But he says, well, Paige, you did good. You beat Cole at Revolution. And Paige is like, Dante, come back in. Yes, Darius was out for a few months with a very long time with a leg injury, but you know what? You've done yourself well there, kid. You're going to be great. You're going to do a lot of good things. He really is. Dante Martin has a very bright future. And then Adam Cole shows up. I'm determined to beat you. I'm going to take that world title from you. You and two goons of your choosing are going to take on two of my choosing, and we're going to have a 6-man tag next week. Okay. This is going to lead to nowhere. Then we get Moxley and Bryan Danielson versus Anthony Henry. I've never heard of him. I heard he works on the Indies. He's part of the 4 War Horsemen, I think. Him and JD Drake took on Danielson and Mox, and the match was alright. JD Drake is improved. Mox is fantastic. I love Danielson. Them having William Regal with them is going to be absolutely fantastic. Anthony Henry looks like Duke Hudson with green hair for some reason. But paradigm shift on the floor, and LaBelle lock, and JD Drake taps out, and Mox and Danielson win. And then Schiavone gets in the ring, and Regal said it's been 29 or 39 years since we've talked. How's the family been and all that stuff, and thank you, Schiavone, for all that stuff, because if you guys go back during the Monday Night Wars, when Regal went to WWE, he said some pretty, not very kind words to WCW around the time, and oh boy, Schiavone really let Regal know what he thought about those comments. But again, it was 1999. Was it 99 or 98? I think it was 99. And oh boy, WCW were going down and a downward spiral at that point. But yeah. But this was... It kind of went a bit too long because it was like... It was getting to a point like, okay, just get to the point. What is this? But this was some good stuff. Regal was emotional because it's been a little bit since he's been back in a ring. And he says, well, you got my, basically a protege of mine, Bryan Danielson, and you have one of the biggest brawlers in Jon Moxley. And for every team that says they're not going to be afraid, well, you're going to be. Okay, this is some really good stuff. I really hope this goes somewhere. Anyways, Dark Order's backstage, talking about, who are the 2 partners that Paige are going to team up with against Cole next week. Paige shows up. Well, I kind of asked Jurassic Express, and they're like, yeah, we'll do it. Okay. More tension between the Dark Order. Ooh. By the way, I forgot Cole Cabana was still there. I like Cole Cabana, and that is sad. Anyways, we get Pac versus Wheeler Yuta. The matchup was literally at the last minute. With Danhausen, very evil, very nice. Orange Cassidy's in a sling, even though he didn't break anything, because he took a very, 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 very scary throw by Keith Lee at Revolution, and he kind of landed awkwardly on his arm. Pac Penta and the Dark Priest, that is Alex Abrahantes. Well, that's not as good as Armando Orlando Estrada. I think that's how you say his name. I kind of messed that up because I love Estrada. I think he's a great personality. Match was fine. Just Pac kind of beat Wheeler here in a pretty dominant fashion. I don't get the whole thing with Penta. He's got a shovel, and I don't get the thing with the Dark Priest. That is Alex Abrahantes. But I mean, the Brutalizer, and there you go, Pac gets the win. Cole, Red Dragon, and the Bucks are backstage with the Cutler Cam. And, who is Cole going to face? Red Dragon, because we need more tension between the two teams. And he talks about how they didn't win the tag titles. Okay, that's cool. You two need to be more self-aware, says O'Reilly to the Bucks. He is not technically wrong. Anyways, FTR is backstage, and them and Tully, and you two have lost 2 battle royals in a row. We know, how are you two going to make it back to the AEW tag title mountain? Well, I am married to my lovely wife, and I have a beautiful, bright-eyed young daughter, and, all that stuff. And, Tully's like, this is about family, this is about getting the tag titles, and this ain't about your family, this is about ours, and, well, Cash says, well, this is about the family, but you're not in it, you're canned there. Okay, Tully got fired. What is this going to lead to? Who knows? I like FTR, and I do like Tully, and he says he's got family of his own that has a racist daughter, and if you guys don't know, then look up those things about Tessa Blanchard, and you'll know about how I feel about her. Great talent. She's a big piece of crap, though. Yeah. I'm just going to leave that there. Oh, boy. And then we get the AHFO, the Andrade Hardy family of... Oh. Sorry, I fell asleep due to the mere boredom of this segment. There's a board meeting. Literally the only thing that... We knew what was going to happen. Hardy was going to get canned, and everyone, well, the thumbs up if you stay, the thumbs down, you're out. Please let Jose talk for Andrade. I get it. English is a second language for him, but for God's sakes, it does not congeal with the audience. We don't know what he's saying half the time. And Andrade has amounted to nothing. So, well, Hardy gets kicked out. He gets teamed up on it, and Darby and Sting, they come down. And, they attack, but it's still, it's still too many. The gang is, it's the numbers game. And all of a sudden, Jeff Hardy is here. The Hardy Boys theme plays. The crowd goes wild. Not violent. The chat I was in just went absolutely ballistic because I'm like, dude, we knew he was going to show up. There was no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Hardy shows up, and Darby's starting to stare him down a little bit. Maybe we get a match between those two. Whose career is going to get shortened first? It's most likely going to be Hardy's or Darby's, depending on whose bump is going to be brutal. But, well, okay. Maybe a dream match for all the hardcore fanboys, but hey, that's life for you. Anyways, Swerve is backstage. He's going to be having his Rampage, or he's going to have his AEW debut. He's going to be taking on Tony Nese because Nese shows up and says, well, Tony, this ain't your house. This is Swerve's house. We're going to do it like we did on the Friday nights. They really did drop the ball with Swerve on the main roster in WWE. I'll just say that. Tony's in the ring again. Wardlow comes down. This is probably my favorite segment of the entire show. This is probably my favorite part of the entire show. This was great stuff. Hearing Wardlow talk, he sounds convincing. This is some really good stuff. He talks about he has a mother that has a heart of gold, even though she wasn't in the best shape. She would still put her kids in front of her first, her 2 daughters and Wardlow. And Wardlow says, I always had to put my everyone else's dreams and goals ahead of mine. Well, while working with Max, we know how much of a trash he is. He did pay for me, and I'm still under contract and all that stuff. But now this time I am going to be out of my contract, and Wardlow is free, and AEW is now Wardlow's world. Oh, again, I cannot do justice on how great this was. This was fantastic. Great stuff. And he said, don't put your dreams and goals in front of everyone else's, just so they can have them, just so they can disrespect you and all that stuff. This is some great stuff. This is some really great stuff here, guys. All right, and then Keith Lee and QT Marshall are backstage. Well, QT says, well, you know that Team Taz has been a kind of a thorn in your side lately, and so have I. How about we team up? How about we have an alliance? No, I'm good. Okay, well then we're going to have a match on Rampage then. You'll pay for this, Lee. Jurassic Express, versus the Acclaimed AEW Tag Title match. Caster says Jungle Boy has never seen a pair of boobs because his hair is full of pubes. That was beautiful. That was actually kind of funny. And he talks about how Christian Cage gets more heat, and he talks about, the box office hit that was The Batman. I've never seen the movie. I heard some praise, but that's about it. That's about as far as I'll go on my feelings about that movie. Match was fine. Caster had his arm taped at one. Had his arm taped. There was some stuff with the boombox that Bowens tried to do. The Gun Club were in the crowd. They were in the front row. Again, the match wasn't bad. It was just kind of there. There were some good spots. They hit the mic drop, but Jungle Boy kept kicking out. Jungle Boy's trying to fight back. In the end, like a second row doomsday, like a top row doomsday device. 1, 2, 3. It was some kind of doomsday device that they did. 1, 2, 3. Okay, Jurassic Express win. Christian interfered because Caster or Bowens tried to use like a chain, I think, and all that stuff. Jade and Sterling are backstage. Jade has beat them all and is 30-0. This is not going well for Jade. It's not who's next, it's who's left. Who's left. God, they're trying to make her like Goldberg, but except Goldberg can actually draw. Look, nothing against Jade, but she needs a lot of seasoning. A lot of seasoning. Anyways, Layla Hirsch versus Thunder Rosa World Title Eliminator. Match was fine. At one point, Layla gets a turnbuckle rod and Red Velvet interferes. And in the end, Fire Thunder Driver 1, 2, 3, Thunder Rosa wins. And then Shivani grabs the mic and says, you did pretty well for yourself there, young lady. After the screwy finishes and mishaps that happened at Revolution, you're going to have your rematch where it all began. Coming up on the 1 year at the St. Patrick's Day Slam, you and Britt Baker had that brutal lights out match. You know what? Tony Khan's going to reward you with a title shot, and you're going to face Britt Baker in a steel cage match. And you're home of San Antonio, Texas. Okay, cool. I think I'm off that day. I'll be able to review that. And then Baker, Rebel, and Jamie Hayter. Jesus Christ, Jamie Hayter. That's all I'm gonna say. Baker says, "Well, you're a carny riff-raff wannabe, and I'm not afraid of cages, but I'm afraid of what this division's gonna be when you take my title away from Dr. Britt Baker, DMD." Okay. Then we get Scorpio Sky versus Sami Guevara for the TNT title. Well, they did a Rampage rundown. But yeah, Sami versus Sky for the TNT title. It was fine, I guess. It's not like it didn't care. It's just that Scorpio Sky has been so watered down with this whole Men of the Year stuff with the Sheepish Lion, Dan Lambert, and Ethan Page, but at one point, Sami gets a table, and as soon as he got the table, Lambert's like, where's the DQ? Is there no DQ? He's actually making relevant points here, but 6:30 through the table, but there was a mishap. There was no one there, and Sami's got taped wrists from Revolution, and Ty Conte comes down. You know, the less said about what happened with the whole thing with Sami and that one. What was her name? Pam? Yeah, Sami's kind of looking like a dick out in the outside, and Ty is looking worse in that whole situation. But you know, can Sami, you know, get through it? And yes, he's starting to make a comeback. But then Paige Van Zandt, who was in the front row, she attacks Conte, and Sami gets distracted. TKO 1, 2, 3, and Scorpio Sky wins, and that's the 2 titles. Why do they still have the 2 titles? I don't really know. And then Paige Van Zandt signs the contract after kicking Ty. And there you go. That's how Dynamite ends. So, overall, not a bad episode. There's been better, though. Anyways, I will be doing Rampage and SmackDown. Watch out for that double review that's going to be happening on Friday. So anyways, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. What did you guys think about this episode of AEW Dynamite? Let me know down in the comment section below. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Join the herd. I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Peace out.